The new inflation numbers are out this morning, and Canadians are paying more for pretty much everything. For more on that, let's bring in Tyler Orton from Business in Vancouver. Tyler, this is the biggest jump we've seen in more than 30 years.
Yeah, it's tough to swallow right here. We're seeing that inflation hit 5.7% in February. This is on an annual basis. But the point is that we're seeing no signs that it's easing on a monthly basis. If we look at where it was in January, it was at 5.1%. So this is going to be tough for a lot of consumers. There's a little bit of a silver lining here in BC. We're actually tied for Saskatchewan with the lowest inflation rate in the country at 4.7%. But I know everybody is feeling it when they're going to stores or filling up at the pumps right now.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I certainly noticed it in the meat aisle at the grocery store yesterday. I'm like, I can't afford to eat anymore. But where are people going to see the biggest spike? And given that situation in Ukraine, how much uncertainty is there right now?
I think that's what economists are very concerned about right now. If you go to fill up at the gas pumps, well, in February, you're paying about 32.7% more than you were a year earlier. That's in February. We have the Russian invasion going on in Ukraine right now. That's creating so much uncertainty. I will say this, though. If you take gasoline out of the equation, inflation is at about 4.7% nationally. So that is a bit of a different number if you don't use gasoline for anything. But guess what? That means that the transportation costs for your everyday goods are still going to be going up. This is why it's important for everybody to think about. If you go to the grocery store, you're going to see prices jumping 7.4% in February of this last month compared with a year earlier. So look, if you move forward, it's going to be tough for a lot of folks. And there's also concerns about lockdowns going on in China right now that could stymie a lot of global traffic and trade right there. That could also make the Bank of Canada very worried about inflation, which means more rate hikes to come this year, which would also put pressure on mortgage rates for many Canadians out there, too.
My goodness. It's almost impossible to forecast, but it's also impossible for some people to pay for things. So it's going to be a slippery slope. Tyler Orton, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Paul.